So I'm going to download CentOS minimal new version. CentOS 7 I'm downloading. So 8 last time I got a issue. Still that's why I'm not using. No problem. So download CentOS 7. This is a 7. Okay, 64-bit. Going to any of the link, no problem. Lot of links are there. I'm going to first link only. Okay. So if you want a full version, then you can go for it. Guys, those who are having a 8 GB RAM and broadband connections, so you can download this one. Why? Because it's a like 4.4 GB, so total space is there, and RAM capacity will be enough, as well as internet also you can download. The people who are not having a higher bandwidth, 4 GB RAM people or mobile data people, better to download minimal only. So both are same. I will show you both how to download and install. So I'm selecting this one because I have a version that is 2 years back version. Okay, which is I given in a Google Drive. Okay, so this is a minimal version. If you want, you can download both the things also. So okay, now it is downloading with here. No. If you download a full version, you will get a full and minimal in a indirect option is there. Okay, so first of all I will download already downloaded full version. Now I'm downloading a minimal version. Okay, it's around 1 GB. It will take little bit time. Okay, 5 minutes at least it will take. So before we are going to install, so here I want to say a few things. Okay, here I'm using CentOS 7 minimal. Okay, what are the minimum requirements to install minimal? Okay, so minimal it is no GUI. So minimal means no graphical user interface at all. Okay, depends upon your packages and all, because depends upon what kind of things you are installing. That one depends upon that we have to you choose your RAM. If you use 256 MB RAM also, okay, no problem. Okay, but I am here telling 512, so better 512 is a better running RAM. So that's why for 4 GB people also no problem. I am using 1 GB. Okay, so 1 GB, like 2 3 machines you can run. Okay, CPU, so single core CPU is enough. Single core CPU is enough. It means like 1 gigahertz is also running good. Okay, so 32-bit version is there, 64-bit version is there. Which one you download based on that? 32-bit, 64-bit is there. So I'm using here 64 compulsory type. So because other support things will come up, compulsory 64 bit. Disk space. So how much disk space you required? 20 GB is enough. See? 20 GB is enough, lower than a normal one. But here I'm using 80 GB minimum. Okay, recommended is around 40 GB is enough. So we don't require 20 GB. 40 GB is 20 GB or 40 GB is better option. 20 GB or 40 GB is enough. But I'm using 80 GB. Okay, I'm using 1 GB RAM. Okay, 256 or 512 is enough. one core CPU. What are the CPU I have virtually we are there, so we can use enough. Next, CentOS 7 full version. Full version means it contains a GUI. Contains a GUI. Also, option is optionally GUI is also available. GUI virtualization, other things also there. Like you want to see the screen kind of stuff. Okay. So minimum requirements. RAM is 1 GB is enough, but better to use 2 GB. Okay. CPU. So CPU also one core is enough generally. 1 GHz minimum processor is enough because it's lightweight only. Better to use 64 always. Disk space. The minimum disk space is required. Okay, 20 GB is enough. 20 GB is enough, but better to use 40 GB. Okay, if in case if you are installing GI mod, okay, so better to use 40 GB. You can take 8 GB also. 80 GB or 100 GB, 200 GB. How much you use maximum depends upon you install. So, but better my opinion is like that. So 2 GB is a better option. So I will use if in case if I want to use GI mod. So minimum I will use 2 GB for every RAM. So like okay, next. So I will check whether it is completed download or not. Yeah, it's a download is completed. But before we start installation, we have to know a few things. We don't have any C drive, D drive, E drive kind of stuff. Not here. Okay, it is not there here. The drives are won't be available. Drives are names are different here in this one. Next, in Windows. So entire OS we install into generally by default it is go to C drive only, right? But here in Linux it is not like that. Linux has a different folders, so then imported folders will keep it in a different pattern. Okay, Windows we have a drives, right? In Linux don't have a drives. The drive names are different and we cannot access directly also. It should be mounted. Later I will when we are going through all will understand. But here is the drives are name like this always. Dev SDA like that names are like that. SDA1 okay, slash dev slash SDA2 slash dev slash SDA3 like it will be there. The drives are like that. Okay. In Windows we have a C drive D drive, and in Windows we are installing entire operating system into C drive only. In general, one single drive only we are installing. In Linux we are not like that, so we can install it, but different file system architecture is there in Linux. Like a slash means all files. Slash means all entire directory structure under single slash only. Under slash we have a boot all bootable files in a bootable directory only. Okay, all files in a bootable directory only. Home means users home directories are there, no? Users home directories, so home directory is there. Root is for root users home directory, like root is administrator of Linux. Okay, like that. Like student is a user. Student user data stores in home student. Okay, so boot is also called like a slash under slash whatever it is there slash boot slash home slash student or a slash home slash user one slash home slash user two like that. slash root, like a root is administrator, root users data stores is here by default. Okay, bin, has been, different file structures are there. So bin, has been, etc, var, emp, okay, um, mnt, all are with the slashes only. So otherwise you can remove the slashes. So and we need a diagram to show it, but just I'm telling directly. Slash bin, slash has been, slash etc, slash var, slash temp, slash mnt. Yeah, usr, not user. It is usr only. Okay. So what is this directories? Very simple. Go to the C drive. I will show you that one. Okay. So in a system, so you can see program files, users, okay, Windows. So these are all by default files, right? So this in my system is old system. I got lot of things here, but in generally I'm telling it is okay. So program file stores programs related data, right? Program data, okay, application data, users, user things like this is my username, this is another user administrator, like under users we have a users profile data, Windows, like your all application linking files and main operating system files are there in there, like that same thing in a Linux also we have slash is means root directory, slash means root directory, under slash only everything will be available. Important directories like slash boot, slash home, slash root, slash bin, slash has been, etc, var, tmp, mnt, esr, like that. Okay. Here, as I said earlier, Windows operating system stores into one single drive entire OS, entire files. Okay. But here we have a boot directory is there, so we have to separately create a partition for that one. C drive is a one partition, right? Like that. So boot is a one partition, so we have to store all bootable files in a one partition. So if you got any issues, you can easily replace or repair using these partitions wise. Slash home, slash home, all user data stores in slash home. Okay, slash, single slash. Okay, single slash, this is slash means all files, all other files. Already I given a one, just for example, slash dev slash sda1 is given to slash boot. For example, I given a slash dev slash sda2 to slash home. I'm giving a slash dev slash sda3 for this one, or maybe I will give for a root, or I will give for a certain separate partition for a slash etc, or separate partition for slash var also I can give it. But this is okay, this is main important things I given. If you want for a slash root also I can give, but here I'm going with the swap. Guys, anybody remember what is swap? Okay, anybody remember swap? I'm muted or not unmuted,
Swap
not
means
remember.
RAM.
Yes, ram, very good. What is swap? Swap is a virtual RAM memory. in Linux, how much we should give your RAM normally? RAM into
2.
2. Very good. For example, if you are using 2 GB RAM, so swap memory is 4 GB. If you are using a 1 GB RAM, swap memory is 2 GB, like that. Okay. Swap file system is there. So in a file system, for swap is nothing but a swap only. Okay. In Linux, different file systems we use it. Linux file systems, normal file Linux files systems are ext2 onwards. It is there ext2, ext, sorry, caps and small confused. ext3, ext4, xfs. These are the file system. By default, it is a CentOS 7 version. By default, it is a xfs. It will show. Later we can use ext4 also. ext4 or xfs. These are the latest versions. These are old versions. These are old versions. This is the latest version, and this is also one of the latest version. Next, important thing is, don't worry about this 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we'll see that one later. Okay, so how much space, how much partition space we should give it? For example, in Windows, I'm giving C drive is a 200 GB, and for example, 200 GB free space I've given. Depends upon my requirement. Like, so 200 GB I've given C drive. D drive is a 200 GB. E drive is a something around 400 GB. F drive is some 200 GB. Like that I can give, right? Same thing here. How much minimum space is required? How much space is required? Like, you have to go with the documentation. Normally I'm telling, so I want to give a 512 MB space, and because I'm taking a 80 GB space, so I got lot of space. Home directory 1 GB is enough, so you don't need to give slash home. 1 GB is enough, but I'm giving, yeah, 10 GB. Later we'll manage that one. So slash need more space, so I'm giving 20 GB. So 5 GB is enough actually for a slash. It won't take more space. So for example, here you given 100 MB. You can give like a minimum 100 MB, but it is new version, right? So you must give 200 MB. 200 MB. Here, if you want to give less, like a 2 GB is enough. 1 GB is enough. It's a user's data only. If you don't have more data, then it is depends upon number of users and data you can give. I given 1 GB for example. Here you can give a 5 GB is enough. And swap memory depends upon your RAM. For example, 2 GB I'm giving. So like this also we can give, but I'm giving higher. But I'm giving higher swap memory. I'm giving 2 GB here. Okay, I'm giving 2 GB swap memory because when I use when I use minimal, I'm using 1 GB RAM, so swap memory is 2 GB. If I use a full version, swap memory is 2 GB RAM. I use it, so then I will use 4 GB swap memory. Okay. There is a lot of other conditions. Okay, swap is compulsory to mention. Sometimes this is not required also. Swap is not at all required sometimes. Like normally for our practicals, swap is not at all required. But if I want to install Oracle inside this machine, then compulsory swap is required. So certain applications ask for a swap memory. So compulsory you should mention the swap memory. Okay, guys. So this is, remember this table. What I you send 512 for a boot, home 10 GB, swap slash 20 GB, and swap 2 GB. Minimal first I will install minimal only. Okay. So already I download a minimal version, so here it is, I downloaded. First of all, we should create a virtual machine, then only we can install a operating system. Okay, so it is here somewhere, you can see minimal. Okay, so I will show you how to download a minimal. Okay, already I showed how to download a minimal, then how to create a virtual machine for Linux. Okay, this is not required, I close this one. Okay, so I'm going to my VMware workstation here. No, wait, it is already open. I'm closing this my Windows PC. Okay, now I've closed it. I'll open from starting. That's VMware workstation. Okay, if in case if you are not using VMware workstation, you are using VirtualBox, please tell me. I will show you how to install it. If you don't know how to do it. Okay, so new virtual machine. So you can see this screen like this. New virtual machine. Create a new virtual machine. So click on here. If you don't get this option on the screen, you can go to File, New Virtual Machine will be get it. You can use typical or you can use custom also. I'm here using custom. I changed my plan to you because of there is a issue with the typicals. So I'm using custom here. Next, so leave like this only. So no need to change anything. It is showing 16x. It's a compatibility. It's a 16x compatibility. Or if you got like this, no problem. Don't worry about it. Okay, no problem because it's a what version you are installed based on that only. So it will show always a higher version. So based on your version, only it is showing like this. Don't worry about it. Next, select the last one. Select the last one. But what is these options? The first option, like physical CD. If you have a physical CD-ROM, then you can select the first one. I don't have it. I removed it also. Next, if you have a image, like you can use it like browse. My image is in a G drive download. Okay, G drive download. So this is my image. Open. Automatically to detect what it is. CentOS 7 64-bit detected. But don't use this one, guys. Remember, I use install operating system later only. If you use this one, what will happen? It automatically install your OS. That is very dangerous because you cannot control installation. Second one is you should learn how to install, right? Always don't go with auto install. Don't be lazy. Be lazy, be for a smartness, but don't use this kind of smartness. Better I will install operating system later. Manually I will install it one by one option. I will learn. So I will install operating system later. Next, which operating system you are installing? Which operating system you are installing? I'm installing Linux operating system. I'm installing Linux. Which version I am installing? Version. Select. So click on this Ubuntu or something, whatever it is showing on your screen. Find out where is CentOS. I'm installing CentOS 7, 64-bit. So I don't have a choice also. I have a only 64-bit CentOS 7. Okay, it's not CentOS, it's a Oracle, right? So scroll up till you got a 7, right? CentOS 7, 64-bit. By accidentally, if I select like this, what will happen? No problem, not at all a problem. Because anyway, it is a 64-bit only, 64-bit hardware. Better to select a correct option. Better to select a correct one. If you don't put it, at least the bit must be matchable. Because whatever it is suggested, will going to change it. It will suggest RAM size and hardware disk sizes and all. So we'll follow this one only. So CentOS 7 64-bit Linux CentOS 7 64-bit. Next, here it is asking give the virtual machine name and location. So I'm giving a name like this, CTS2, because you are a second batch. See, this is a CTS1 I given here. It because that is a first batch in this year. CTS2. Okay, so Linux or CentOS, anything you can give it. So I put a CTS2 hyphen Linux 1. For you, for your system, you can give only Linux 1, no problem. Okay. Next, where I should store. If I leave like this, it will store in C drive. I don't have more space in C drive, and better not to put it in a C drive also. Try to habituate. Use better way. So this is my G drive. So I'm going to this PCC where more space is available. See, E drive have a more space. F drive don't have more space, but G drive and H drive is having more space. And next, in H drive, I'm storing all the virtual machines. So you can see all of my virtual machine stores here only. Okay. So of course, in F drive also I have a virtual machines, but all these simple things I will for class things and practice one. I started using my H drive only. I have already folder CTS1 2021 77 GB that folder size. No problem. I'm going to create a folder here. Okay. The new folder name is CTS2 2021 for all your classes. So till your class is completed, I use this folder. Inside this folder only, I will create a virtual machines. Okay. So this is my folder. So this is a empty folder. But I will show you the previous batch folder. This is a CTS1. So can you see this one? Linux 1, Linux 2, Windows C1, Windows Server 1. Okay, and this is a DevOps purpose. So all these machines I created and stored here. Okay, so this is easy to management. For easy management, like I can go to any virtual machine. I want to change anything here, or I want to delete it, or I want to manage. So I will keep in one place only. So this is my folder CTS2. So I'm going to CTS2 2021. This is I created in a H drive. You can also see where you got a more free space. There you can create a some name. Okay, better. Otherwise, leave it like your virtual machine, my virtual machines, VM folder, any name. Okay, for me, you are a batch. That's it, right? Previously, one batch is there. Your batch, next batch, it is there. Not my personal virtual machine, right? For you, it is a personal virtual machines. So you can put any name. So I copied that link and I pasting here. Pasted here. I copied this H drive, this one slash. Copy this one, paste here. So I copied this one. What will happen in this folder? This folder will be created, and all the virtual machine data will be stored here only. Always give proper names, guys. Proper names, guys. Names easy. You can understand what virtual machine it is. First of all, you can understand what virtual machine it is and who created it. And another one is what is the purpose. You will understand by easily name only. So who created? I am created, and which batch it is? It is CTS2, and what operating system I am using? Linux only. Of course, I will always use a max to max. I'll use CentOS 7 only. Okay, CentOS. Okay. Even if you see this side, I put a CentOS 8, CentOS 7 like that. But when it will come to the class part, that I will use some number here. If it is a practice, then I will give like this Windows 10 Oracle, because Oracle also installed in Linux. So that's why I given Windows 10 Oracle. So this is a name and this is the location. So it is quite easy if you are doing better with options and all names, locations. You can easily troubleshoot it. Next, it is asking number of processor. One is enough. 111 enough. Next, how much RAM you want it? How much RAM you want it? I want 1 GB only, but currently I'm changing to 2 GB. Sorry, I want 1 GB. I keep 1 GB. I will change it later. So currently I'm using minimal. So 1 GB is enough. Next, what you want to use, like a host only network or a bridged network or a NAT network. So I will change it to bridged network now, but I will change it again. Okay, I will use bridged network only. Next, so you want to LSI logic or SAS? Select SAS or logic, no problem. Anything is no problem. This one or this one, no problem. Don't select this one because I don't know what it is. What is para virtualized? I don't know, but you can use this one or you can use this one. Okay, it is given recommended. That's why. Otherwise, you can use this one. No problem. Anything, no problem. Next, SCSI. Select SCSI only. This one, or you can use this one. No problem. But I'm using SCSI. Second option. By default, it is there recommended. So I'm using that one. Later we'll discuss that what is that SCSI and all. See only that SCSI name, IDE, SATA. See that SCSI name only. That's it. SCSI and IDE. Next. Create a new virtual hard disk. Yes, I want to create a new virtual hard disk. First option. And select this option. Store virtual disk as a single file. So select this option. It is showing 20 GB. I'm changing to 80 GB. Very simple. Minimum requirement is 20 GB, but I'm using 80 GB for certain practicals. I need a more space. More free space is required. Okay. So I'm using 80 GB here. Okay. Next, if you want 120, no, put it, no problem. You want 160, put it, no problem. 200, no problem. Okay, so don't use less than 20 mainly. So calculations are important. How much space is required? So use minimum at least 40 or 80 GB. Minimum 40 or 80 GB. Use it. If you use higher, not at all a problem. Okay, but this option must be here. First option, I put 80 GB. Next. This is my hard disk file, virtual hard disk file. Next, then it is showing customize hardware and finish also. You can click on finish, no problem. Otherwise, go to customize hardware. I'm going to customize hardware. Okay, so I'm going to customize hardware. I'm going to customize something here like CPU. Okay, so memory, CPU. First, I'm going to CPU. I'm going to select this one. First option only. Virtualized VTX like this. 1111 and virtualize VTX first option. Next, CD DVD IDE type auto detect. Then select this one. Use ISO image file. So what it is? Use ISO image file because whatever the OS you downloaded, it is in ISO format only. It is in ISO format only, and location of that one is here. Where it is? G download. I have a my OS minimal here. Okay, minimal here. Browse, select. This is the new one. This is the new one. I'm down open. So now it is there. Okay, next, network adapter bridged. Because that option I will change it. Go to custom VMnet 0. Okay, so you can use bridged and VMnet 0, both are same. Bridged and VMnet 0 both are same, but I want to use VMnet 0 wise only. Next, I am going to memory. I will increase the memory to 2 GB for installation purpose only. Because I have a more RAM space, free space is there. I use 2 GB for installation. For you, 1 GB is enough. If you have 8 GB RAM, you can use 2 GB, no problem. If you have 4 GB RAM, use 1 GB, not at all a problem. but currently I'm using 2 GB, so faster installation will occur. Close it and finish it. Once you finish, the virtual machine is created. Here you can see your virtual machine. Your virtual machine name you are seeing, and you can see power on virtual machine, edit virtual machine settings. I'm going to edit virtual machine settings first. Click on edit virtual machine settings. You can see memory is 2 GB. I changed it. Later also I will change it. Means once OS is installed, then later I will change it. Processor, first check mark is there. Okay, hard disk is 80 GB. If you want, you can increase also. You can increase, expand it if you want it. Next, check it, 80 GB is there. CD is inserted or not. If you don't put a image, you can't store it. So you have to go to browse and select the image. So make sure that image is selected or not. Network adapter, VMNet 0 compulsory. After this one, you can find a tab here, options tab. This is hardware tab and this is options tab. Go to options tab. Select VMware tools, time sync off. Time sync off. Select this one. Select this first option. The box. Okay. This is condition. Select like this. Then click on advanced. Okay. Now this is off is there. Now it is on because I selected this one. So I'm going to advance. Scroll down. Go down. BIOS and UEFI. Which type of firmware you want to use it? BIOS or UEFI? If you select UEFI, you can select it, no problem. If you want a BIOS, you can select it. I'm selecting UEFI. I'm selecting UEFI because it's the latest framework. Linux support UEFI anyway. 7 support UEFI. Okay. So I selected UEFI. Next. Okay. Then what I advance UEFI selected. But we have to verify operating system supported or not. Next. This is my machine and where it is located, this is the address. So like that you can see where you store the virtual machine also. Now I'm going to that H drive here. This is my H drive folder and this is my virtual machine folder. This is my virtual machine folder. Otherwise I will go to H drive. This is a main folder CTS2. Then this is a Linux one. Open it. These are all virtual machines only. All virtual machine files. All are virtual machine files only. This is virtual machine management file. So machine configuration file. Okay. So virtual machine configuration file .vmx. In machine you can't able to see, if in case you can't able to see .vmx, go to view, select this option. You can see this one. See .vmx is gone, right? Go to view, select this option, file name extension. Then you will get a .vmx file. Okay. But here one thing we have to do, so that I forget it to copy a file. I'm going to my G drive or F drive. Okay, now I will share this file, don't worry. So there is a file. Okay, I will share that file. This is the file, VM edit file. Copy all the things. Copy all these 3 lines. Just copy it. Minimize or close, no problem. So go to H drive and my CTS2, Linux, VMX file, right click, open with a notepad. Don't double click it. Just click it and right click it. Then you can find open with notepad. If you don't get open with notepad, go to choose other options. Windows 7 guys may get a little bit problem, so no better. So you can go to more apps, scroll up and scroll down, find out where is a notepad. So select a notepad. Don't select this one. Don't select. Always use this app. Don't select it. Don't select this one. Okay. Okay. Now this is my VMX file. Don't touch anything. Don't type anything. Just scroll down only. Keep scroll down, down, down. You will get like this. Floppy disk present. Firmware. Something it is showing firmware kind of stuff. Okay. Here, if you click here in the bottom of this one, automatically cursor is there, so you need to do enter and all kind of stuff, not required. Just scroll down, bottom of the file, add these three lines. Added these three lines. What is the meaning of these three lines? Very simple. Because of these three lines, okay, and there is a check mark at CPU. Because of the check mark and these three lines, internal virtualization support, internal virtualization will support. Save it and exit it. So then come out from here. Okay, now mission is ready. Mission is ready. Okay, so I'm going to edit virtual machine settings once again, because I want to show you processor, the first check mark and the three lines will give you internal virtualization to a machine. Okay, this is it. This is how you can able to create a virtual machine to install a Linux.